Thunderbolts is in 4 weeks. You know what that means? More Marvel content. Why am I reviewing Black Panther? Because Bucky appears in it. Why am I reviewing Black Panther and not the 2 Avengers movies he appears in? How does that make sense? Don't question it! Black Panther was released in 2018, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Chadwick Boseman. And listen, I love this movie back in 2018. I love it today. So, yeah, let's not waste time. Let's go ahead and get into this review, starting off with the good. And there is a lot to love. This is easily top 20 MCU for me. Not quite top 10, but it's a really good one. This cast is absolutely fantastic. First of all, Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, as stated in my Civil War review, just absolutely incredible. I loved him in this movie. This is probably my favorite portrayal of Black Panther by him, even though I really loved him in Civil War. This is just absolutely top-notch from him. Really love Chadwick Boseman here. Really great character arc for him. I do wish that he was still with us to continue T'Challa's story, but alas, cancer is a terrible thing. It's terrible. Regardless, really loved him. The limited screen time he had as T'Challa, the limited time he had as T'Challa with us here on Earth, really made an impact. Really loved him here. Then you got Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia, and she's really good as well. She's Black Panther's love interest in this movie. She's got a really good character arc herself. Really fantastic chemistry with Chadwick Boseman. I thought that they worked really well together. Really fun character. I really love Nakia in this movie. Then you got Winston Duke as M'Baku. And in the comics, M'Baku's a villain. And from the start of this movie, it looked like they were setting him up to be a villain. But they took a complete 180 and made him just a full-on hero in the MCU, which I don't mind. I really love Winston Duke as M'Baku. He's funny and he's menacing, yet he's charming all at the same time. He's just got a real great aura about him. He's probably my favorite part of the Black Panther movies in general. I really love him. So yeah, he's going here in the good section. Letitia Wright as Shuri, really fun character. She's given a much more serious role in the sequel just because of all the real life events that happened around the production of that movie. But in this movie, she is allowed to 100% be the comic relief. And there is nothing wrong with that. She has an absolute blast in this movie. I really loved her as Shuri. She's got really good chemistry with Chadwick Boseman. They really do feel like brother and sister in this movie, making the loss of T'Challa in the sequel just that much more real. Yeah, I really loved Shuri in this movie. Then you got the 2 villains in this movie. First of all, you have pretty much the villain of the entire first half, and that's Andy Serkis as Ulysses Klaue. And I really, really loved this character. He's just a lot of fun. He's absolutely insane. Andy Serkis is just having a blast with this character. And Andy Serkis is always having a blast with his characters, but Ulysses Klaue is just different. I really loved how insane he acts in his sequences. I do kind of wish he was the main villain of the entire movie, but alas, we're going to talk about the main villain, that is Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. And this is a really great villain. This is a villain with understandable motivation, a really interesting and compelling backstory. Just every ingredient is here to make a fantastic villain, and Michael B. Jordan just absolutely owns it. I loved everything Michael B. Jordan does as this character. He had really great chemistry with Andy Serkis when they were on screen together. Really fantastic chemistry with Chadwick Boseman when they were on screen together. Just a real great villain, top tier MCU villain in my opinion. Just really, really great performance from Michael B. Jordan here. You got the story of this movie, and it's really compelling. It's T'Challa pretty much starting out as king. This pretty much picks up maybe a year or two after Civil War. T'Challa goes back home. He's officially crowned king. And he's just trying to be the best king that he can be for his country of Wakanda. And I just really love the conflicted nature that T'Challa seems to have in this movie as the king, and how he's actually confronted with the sins of the king's past when Killmonger comes on the scene. And in the end, Killmonger wins the philosophical victory, not the physical victory, but the philosophical victory. It makes T'Challa realize, hey, the past kings were wrong to do this. I'm going to do things differently. I just really love that arc, and the story is great leading up to it. The action sequences for the first two acts are really, really great. I love the car chase in, Korea, with Claw's character. Really fun chase sequence. I love the ceremonial battle sequences. They happen twice in this movie. First at the beginning, where T'Challa officially becomes king, and then near the end of the second act, where Killmonger takes over Wakanda. I just really love those two action sequences. Those were my favorite. The soundtrack and the score is really great here. I really love the song that plays in the credits, All the Stars. Really great song. Just really, really beautiful music there. The editing is really great, really adds to the fantastic pacing in this movie. This movie is almost 2.5 hours. It does not feel 2.5 hours long, but really love the pacing and the editing. They really go hand in hand here. The set designs and the costume designs are absolutely top-notch. I love what they did with the costume department and the set design department. Just everything is just beautifully crafted. It's very vibrant, full of color, full of life. I just love what they did there. So that's about all for the good. Let's go to another mix section. I don't usually do mix sections, but a lot of movies lately have needed a mix section, and that is, first of all, I don't know how I feel about Martin Freeman's character, Everett Ross. He's okay, but I don't know. It's just different from what I know Martin Freeman for. I don't know. Maybe that's just a random complaint, but I don't know. Ross just didn't do much for me, but he wasn't a terrible character, so put him here in the mix. Then we got Daniel Kaluuya as W'Kabi. Again, I love Daniel Kaluuya, and this character, the potential's there for this character, but it's just, the execution, didn't do much for me in the end. But that's about all for the mix. On to the bad, and there's a very, very big bad in this movie, and that is the entire third act and the CGI contained therein. Now, the CGI in the third act of this movie is nowhere near as egregious as the third act CGI of The Flash. Let's get that out of the way. The Flash was way worse CGI. But the CGI in the third act battle between T'Challa and Killmonger, it just looked like PlayStation graphics. I'm sorry. As much as I did enjoy that fight for the most part, and the conclusion of that fight, the graphics, oh my god, are just bad. But that's all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. Black Panther, really fun MCU movie. Top notch, one of the top 20 for me. I just really love it. Black Panther is a really good MCU movie. It's a great character study, and it's got some really good messaging, and I'll give it a 9 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Black Panther. What did you think about this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you've seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.